To all those above me that watch over me, to all of you, my fave parapeeps on this side of the veil, welcome. This is the Paranormal Ministry. I'm your host, Shawn Whittington. I'm a seminarian in the United States Old Catholic Church. If there's anything you want to know about my wife and I and our ministry work, go to our website, www.ghost-b-gone.biz. And I also want to thank Zach for the wonderful opening to the show. Keep in mind, February 22nd on Pact, little P, capital ACT, Podcasting for All Coming Together channel. We are doing a special event called Community Mission to Rescue 22. And it's a 22-hour long, nonstop broadcast. I'm the first guest on 1 a.m. that day, the 22nd. And it's all to try to raise money to prevent suicide among the veterans, which is the numbers of that is staggering and off the charts. And if we can also help the homeless veterans, that would be really cool too. And all the you know stuff that they carry back with them from war and serving that leads to a lot of these things. It's all to help that. So, and I'll talk a little bit more about it at the end of the show. This is the Paranormal Ministry. Um, I'm coming to you live from my haunted house, my very haunted house, and it's been active today, and we all know why. The last Monday of the month, that means it's Happy Medium Monday. In fact, it's the last Happy Medium Monday of 2022. So this is your chance before the year ends. If you ever wanted a free live on-air psychic reading, tonight's the night. You just type in your question in the live chat room. Susan will see it. She'll read it. She'll give you your reading. Easy psychic peasy. Okay, so without further ado, live from Cape Cod, Cape Cod's only live on air psychic radio personality, my good friend. I love her. I respect her. Truly a gift from God she has. The one and only happy medium herself, my co host, Susan Ahern.
Hiya.
Okay,
What's
I'm out of here now. See you later.
gotta go? So what's happening in Las Vegas?
Uh, where do I start?
Ooh. How about the temperature? What are you guys at right now?
I think we're down into, we had a week or so there where it was, hovered around freezing at night,
Mhm.
but it got up into like the 50s, and that's like a hardcore winter for us here. We're expecting rain later this week, but now it's been like, low 40s at night, upper 50s during the day. I kind of like it. It's nice. Sharon thinks it's freezing, but
It
I
is,
kind of
but
like
it's
it. So,
crisp. It's crisp.
yes. And how about you? You had the bomb cyclone.
Oh, yeah. We're used to the wind here, but that was a good one. That one was like, oh, that got my attention because it can blow anywhere from 30 to 50 on a regular on a sunny day. So it doesn't that didn't really wasn't a big deal. I didn't lose any trees. It didn't really affect us that badly, not too many power outages, but it was cold. The teens, it just was so bitter cold. Like tonight, it's in the low 20s, maybe
Wow.
23 out there right now. So
Cape
it's
Cod.
chilly.
So, what do you talk about? Let me see. What's it like uh, during the day? What's your highs during the day like?
In the 20s. It's still cold,
Do you
like
ever
on a
get
regular basis.
like
Like,
right off of the bay there, or
mhm,
the Cape there, the waters
mhm.
there? Do that stuff ever freezes over?
It has. I've seen that. I've seen in the bay side can freeze up, and
Wow.
that's just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it used to way back when. They used to have horses and they used to have ice houses. And so they used to make ice and they used to cut the ice with the horses and drag it back up. So you see in old pictures like that. So I always thought that that was amazing because we haven't had that and I'd say at least 10 years that
Wow.
the bay is frozen over like that. Yeah.
I believe it was Friday. Let me just think. It's Monday, right? Was it Friday? I think Friday's guest. Yeah, it was. She's from Connecticut.
Mhm.
And it was like a game time decision if we were even going to be able to get her on because she was losing internet in
Yeah.
and out all day long. The signal was really wonky, and then thank you Jesus, right when the show started, even in the green room talking to her before the show went live, it was wonky. And then we said, well, let's give it a shot, and if we have to cut you loose, I'll reschedule you again.
Mhm.
And but it hung in there, so we were able to do the show. But like even down in Kentucky, where my bishop is from, he had to cancel Bible study on Sunday and his show tonight and night prayer tonight because his internet and stuff is still in and out and really wonky. So it's affected a lot of people. We're just kind of lucky it kind of passed us by. So
Mhm.
well, I'm glad you're doing okay and you didn't have
Yep.
any major issues. What
Yeah.
is going on in the office tonight? I know you have a haunted office there.
I do have a haunted office. You've got a haunted house, and I'm in the haunted office.
Yeah,
So I got ordered a whole bunch of those little cat balls. Oh, here we go. That helps. Little cat balls, in the have you ever seen
very
these?
cool.
Do you
Yeah, I
use
have.
them? Yeah, and
I
I have
haven't
not
yet.
used them. I'm not into the gimmicky stuff, but I am, I had to try them because they looked fun. Anything that, like, is
You know
shiny,
what
I'm
ghost
like,
reminds me of? I don't know how true this is, and you can chime in on this because you know ghosts better than I know ghosts.
"No."
I remember back in the day when, whenever you thought you had a ghost in the house or a house spirit,
Mhm.
somewhere somebody one time said it was an old folklore
Mhm.
tradition. You take like a fishbowl, fill it with colored marbles, and just set it somewhere in an inconspicuous area of the house where no one's really going to mess with it, and ghosts will play with the marbles.
Hmm.
And I never forgot that. I've never done that.
Well, maybe that's what's happening to you. The ghosts are playing with your marbles.
Well, speaking of cat balls,
Wait a minute,
oh
wait.
my
So I
god,
gotta don't go too far off of this because you always run with stuff. So we're gonna take these balls. You hit the button turns on. If you don't know, here that this little red button, you hit that and it lights up, and then you place it someplace in a room or an investigation wherever you're at, as long as you're not in like like a old Cape Cod house where nothing is level. It needs to be in a stable spot. So this one's already activated. So if
wow.
I hello, hello, there we go. Shouldn't have to move it that hard. Um,
And what's cool is if something activates it, it should
yeah,
move also,
right.
not
So we're gonna.
stationary, which I like that.
So that's sitting over there. I have another one right behind me over here on the desk. So we're gonna see what happens. Why not, right?
Yeah, well, you heard in the green room, you mentioned you'd already heard some walking around, and
Yeah, and my daughter is here more than I am, and so Casino says this is like her office, um, and so there's stuff happening. So for her, so I said, well, let's see what we can do. And she got an old bus. She's been putting together this. She's got like a bazillion followers on Facebook and TikTok, and I wanted to do an investigation in there. And I'm like, oh my god, this would be so cool to get the spirit box, start making a conversation in there, and seeing what we could get out of this really old bus. And she put the kibosh on it.
oh,
I was like,
maybe she'll change her mind.
no, they won't. No, no.
Oh man.
It would have been so cool to see like who's still hanging around the bus, but that was the problem. She didn't want to know who was still hanging around the bus. So, oh
Well, this is what I want everybody to know
well. Mhm.
that's tuned in if they're new here tonight. There aren't many rules, but here's a few of them. It's so easy. If you ever wanted to have a quick live on air quickie reading, psychic reading from Susan, just type it in your question into the chat room. Susan will see it. She'll read it. She'll give you your reading. Um, we are not doing any conjuring tonight, so just make your questions like, am I going to win the lottery? Am I going to get over this health funk that I'm in, or am I going to stay healthy? And am I going to get the dream job or become rich next year? Am I going to meet my soulmate? Things of that nature. To try and contact a particular spirit, that's takes a lot of energy and a lot of time. And it's a whole different type of a thing for Susan. So those are the only rules. Just keep them basic questions, and it's so easy. And like I said, tonight's the last one. Having said that, Susan
Okay.
has agreed earlier. I didn't want to put her on the spot live on air, which I did last time, but she agreed to continue to do Happy Medium Mondays next year, 2023. So I'm really happy about that. And
How many years is this now for us?
my gosh, we've been doing it a long time. I'll have to check my notes, but
I
it's been
know.
at least three,
Well,
three,
before
maybe
COVID,
four.
before COVID, and COVID,
Yeah,
see, we missed 2 years. COVID takes 2 years and just erased two
right.
years. So you automatically have to just put 2 years on top of everything. So yeah, it's been a while.
So I'm
Yeah,
really happy that you
goodness.
wanted to, wanted to continue to do this. I know a
Oh,
lot
I
of
love
even
it.
though we don't. I'll be honest with you about something. Sometimes we don't get one person that asks a question,
Mm.
and after the shows are over with, to this day, I still get a handful of people that will apologize to me. I don't know why they don't need to apologize to me for anything, but they apologize to me for not sending their question in that they tuned in, they wanted to so bad, but for some reason they just didn't do it, and they got into listening to us and into the show. Next thing you knew, the show was ending, and it was too late, and they said, "Oh, I'll get her next time," and then they do it again. I get that all the time. So I just want people to know how easy it is. If they're watching the show, you can see the chat room. Just type your question in. Your
Well,
name, where you're from, type your question in.
oh,
Well, our first one, Sean, is actually, it looks like it's more for the line of you in your area. So let's start out with this, but then we've already got a couple questions. One of them, ironically, is about a conversation we had in the green room. But the first question we got is from Anthony Lewis. You're up.
Boom. Hi, Anthony. So, do you believe that Bible stops teaching about Holy Spirit? Not 100% sure the meaning of the question, Anthony. So, do you believe that Bible stops teaching about Holy People? Believe that Bible. Or maybe you're referring to a particular Bible that you saw that's not teaching about the Holy Spirit. That's what I'm going to go with. I don't know about that Bible, and if there is a Bible out there, a Catholic Bible, there wouldn't be a legit Catholic or Christian Bible out there that doesn't teach about the Holy Spirit. That's part of the Trinity. That's part of what we all believe in. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. So if there is a Bible floating around out there, it's not Catholic, it's not Christian, and I personally wouldn't read it or advise anybody read it if they're a true Christian or a Catholic. I think that's what you were asking, Anthony. So there you go. Hi, Catherine. I don't know if that's for you, Susan. Yeah, I think it is.
okay. So will my brother stay in the nursing home? He was offered home care package, but I'm afraid I won't cope. I have my own family. So offer home care package. Okay. So I'm assuming that he's going to be staying with you. Let me see what is happening. And so I'm going to ask, instead of going to your brother, I'm going to look at you and see what is happening for you, Catherine. Only because this is direct. You're asking if it's directly going to affect you and your own family. So, hmm. So new beginnings and around health, the greens health and fortune. So this is going to be it's a journey. I'm going to pull one more. Oh yeah, and it's happening now. So it's the now card. The sun is shining down. So whatever is going to happen is going to be you're illuminated by the light and the sun is shining down upon you. Although it's going to be extra work, I see that this is going to play out in your favor. It's positive. So whatever that means, these two positive cards, like you're going around, you're just in it's lots of light. So I'm going to go with whatever direction, whatever is to unfold, however it may be, it's going to be positive for you. And that may mean maybe I didn't see it now, or I'm in as I'm in the moment that I saw it as being such, but it ends up being in your favor. So we're going to go with that. So I hope all works out well, but it may not work as as we choose to, but we don't really have the, the final answer. Like there's always something bigger than us that is kind of knows what's best for us and everybody involved. And that's what they're saying, that it's going to unfold in a positive way for you. So thank you for your question. I appreciate it. And people don't have to ask, they can ask ghosty questions, demon questions, Bible questions. It doesn't have to be a personal question. They can just be, what do you do if, or I want to start my own investigative team, or, doesn't have to be on the spot about you. So
Do me a big favor. Oh, go ahead, Jack.
Okay, so how about one about an injured cat?
Okay, that's what he must have meant. Susan, do me a big favor.
Yep.
Pull your
And I'm
mic down away from your mouth just a hair.
down here.
There you go. Perfect.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry, I was getting all poppy.
Any thoughts on our injured cat? I'll let that. Oh, that's Sharon. That's my wife. My silly wife. That's right. She does not miss
I
a
see
Happy
his
Meeting Monday.
eye is popping.
You know what? I was telling you in the green room that
I'm
the
cheating.
gray one that we hadn't seen for a month and a half, that we were hoping nothing bad happened to him, all of a sudden showed up again. And you called it last time we spoke that he would be back. And then I go out there the other day, and the one cat who we think is the father of them all, he's the big long haired one that's black and white, looks like he's wearing a tuxedo, so we call him Tux. He is a friendly cat, but it's never been handled. When he's eating breakfast, if I'm right next to him because I'm putting the food down, he'll let me pet him 2 or 3 times. But picking him up, I've never done it. I don't know how he would react, but he's very protective over all of the other cats that he has fathered in the home. And other males come around, and there's been some fights, but we're assuming it was a fight. We don't know for sure.
Now,
Uh,
what's the color of the one? Is it the tuxedo guy that's got his eye
yeah, his
injured?
right eye it
Okay.
looks like it's partially popped out. I don't mean to be so graphic. And he can't close it. So you just see like the eyeball, but it's also turned in. So you can't even
Yeah.
see the pupil anymore. And then on the inside, there's just a lot of scabbing and pus and dried blood and stuff. He's purring, eating, walking around, acting normal, except that's got to be painful. So Sharon brought me home tonight from work professional cat gloves, which are these real thick leather gloves that go all the way up to the elbows. And I'm going to go out there in the morning. I got this travel cardboard cat box, which we give to a lot of people at the clinic when they come in and say, I need to bring my cat in, but I don't have a carrier. We'll give them one of these boxes. So I'm going to go out there with the box in the morning. I already have the gloves on and a towel. I'll start putting some food down. And if he comes up next to me and lets me pet him a couple of times without fighting with him too bad, I'm going to get the towel on him, pick him up, try to get him in this box. Hopefully it goes well because I got to get him into the hospital. It'd be cruel for me
Wow.
not to do anything.
That's the card. He does. Oop, I keep hitting this. Sorry.
That's okay.
He does have to go. If you do your best to grab him and run. So we'll see what that. I wasn't
Yeah.
getting. And then this is the never card. So good luck.
Oh, swell. Well, my backup plan if that doesn't happen is I'm going to put all the doors back on all the cat carriers that are out there that they sleep in and lift the blanket up off of the opening so I can look in there with a flashlight. And if I walk out there one morning and occasionally you'll catch him in one of the carriers lounging, if I see that, then I'll just nonchalantly walk over to the carrier, shut the door, and latch it. Done deal. Take the blanket off, grab the handle, and he's on
Yep.
his way.
Good.
So I'm going to give it a shot in the morning, see how it goes. Sometimes I overthink and worry too much about these types of things, and then it goes off without a hitch.
Right.
We do have the girl that came from that specialty clinic and trapped them all that one time
Yeah.
and took them all in to get their spayed and neutered and shots. And but she can't come until after the first of the year. So that's another week.
Right.
Um, and so wish me luck. Say a prayer for me later. And
I will.
and we'll see how it goes in the morning. So you got a card that says it's going to be iffy.
Yeah, he definitely needs to go. And the liberation may mean his journey over the Rainbow Bridge too. So I don't know if it's
No,
hard for you to get him. Yeah, it wasn't. They weren't positive cards for this little guy. So we will say a prayer for that poor little guy.
big guy. He's a big guy. I think he's got
Well,
some Maine Coon in him. He's a lot bigger than everybody else. Yeah.
oh, Charles, look at you. He's going to Sedona. Nice. That is
Susan, I am going
nice.
to Sedona this year. Very cool. Very, very cool.
Is that going to be around something fun? They always have something good going on out there. So
That's on the list. One of my lists of places to want to go. Very spiritual.
I went, but it was we were cutting through on my way to when I was moving to Scottsdale, and I wasn't able to enjoy it. I had the kids, so I wasn't able to make it a spiritual journey. But yeah, it was neat. It was neat.
Very, very cool. How was your Christmas?
Oh, it was very quiet. It was very nice. Yep. So it
How are
went
the
very well.
spirit? You also live in a haunted house, in addition to the
Mhm,
haunted office that you're in right now.
mhm.
Uh, how are they around the holidays?
Well, my mom passed 6 years ago now on the 22nd of December, so right before Christmas. So she always comes. The house is filled, and I was talking with my oldest sister about that, and she said, "Oh yeah, we've had some things happening." So it's her way of letting us know that she's around and she's with us for Christmas, and so it's nice. Yeah, it is a busy time. Spirits get really busy around the holidays. There's a lot of emotional stirring. Christmas isn't always pleasant for everyone, and so there can be a lot of emotion with Christmas and holidays, and so you will get that. The spirits will feed off of that, and they can make a lot of ruckus in the house and things like that. A few of the lights were turned on, and I know I turned them off when I left the room. So I just welcome them. Yep, I
What's your
welcome them to the
plans?
house.
What's a New Year's Eve like in the Ahern
Mm.
estate?
That's never been anything. I always so I worked in the police department. That was the night we all had to mandatorily work. So I take it off and I don't do a thing. I go into my pajamas at like 7 o'clock and plan for a good movie, or maybe I'll have my granddaughter over or something. We'll plan something in, but it's never was a fun night for me to, like, yay, the ball dropped. Woo, can I go to bed now? It's kind of like, meh. What do you do? What do you guys do?
It's the same.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
we're old fuddy-duddies, and Sharon will probably already be asleep by the stroke of midnight, but she always tells me, "Wake me up so I can watch the fireworks," because they always have just the killer fireworks show here. Just about every casino downtown
Oh,
has
wow, I never
major
thought of that.
pyrotechnics right at midnight goes off, and
Mhm,
so I usually wake her up. And then a couple of years ago, I started doing this. A Cuban friend of mine sent me these things to do that
mhm.
he says everybody in my family has been doing this as far back as I can remember, and it's a long history of this being handed down throughout the generations, and it's just a tradition. And I have to tell you, I'm not really a superstitious person, but the last couple of years I've felt blessed, and so I'm going to go ahead and do it. And what that is even though I don't drink, and Sharon drinks very little and hates champagne, they say that you pop a bottle at the stroke of midnight, you pop a bottle of champagne, and even if you don't drink or don't like champagne, pour yourself a glass and have one sip, and then you're supposed to eat 12 grapes right
Oh,
then.
I've heard of the yes.
And then you got to mop your kitchen floor with ice and throw the ice out.
I've heard of that.
And then you got to walk around your house with your luggage. So I do all that. and
I never heard the luggage part, but okay.
yeah, because I guess traveling
Yeah.
is associated with you're doing well, and uh, So you walk around your house with your luggage. I walk out of the one of the bedrooms that the luggage is in, and through the living room and the kitchen, and back into the living room and put them away. And so, and I can't. I think that's it. I think I've got everything on the list. Oh, wear green for money. So I
Okay,
always have
that's
on
good.
some green beads, like very similar to the type of beads that are thrown at you in Mardi Gras. I've got
Hmm.
some green ones that I usually wear at St. Patrick's Day, and I'll have those on. And got to have some money in your pocket. That's right. Should have some money in your pocket. Be
It's a
wearing
long
some
list. That
green.
list is
Yeah,
long. Money in
it's
the
good.
pocket, green
I'll
on,
probably, yeah. After we're done
suitcase,
tonight, I'll go in there and look at it again. There'll be some things I'm forgetting, but and people make
jump
fun
on
of
one
me.
foot.
Possibly, make sure you're facing east and turn around 3 times and be naked.
If you
So
fart, you got to do it all over again.
yeah, you got
Yeah.
to turn back the other way if you fart.
No, that's we
So,
shouldn't be making fun, but I hear you.
there we go. Hi, Bernice.
Oh, what a beautiful picture, Bernice. Okay, is my husband a current partner? Twin flame. I feel like my husband was in the past life. So I am not a big fan of twin flame situations. There's just been so much gaslighting around that whole energy. So I would then let's just look at the reason why the two of you came together in this lifetime, or have you been in have you danced in another lifetime together in one way or another? um I would just need your husband's name, Bernice, if I could, so I can tap into his energy.
When you're done, I'm going to ask you to tell me the difference between a karmic partner or a twin flame. I don't know.
Well, I'm assuming in karmic being that you've come back, Derek. Thank you. That you've come back in this lifetime to do a dance, whether it be to resolve an issue that you weren't able to, or to just say, hey, you and I work out really good, I'd like to, let's give it a run again, because we work, we're comrades, we've done the fight, we've done the battle, we know how to do this. And so you'll see many times you'll come back, you'll reincarnate with somebody that you've already gone through the hard stuff with. That way then you don't have to do it again. But so I'm picking up, I don't say this is so hard when I can't talk to people. Um, Tall, dark, very kind of comes with the sword, or it could be that a dominant masculine energy force. Um, yeah, he feels like he needs to right wrongs, almost in law, or he's just got that rescuey type energy. So he likes to be in charge. He likes to help. He likes to do things. Now, is that his past life coming through, or that's what he needs to do in this time? It's hard to tell. I would have to ask her a little more questions. But yeah, I once again I feel like there's some stuff that you have to work out. That's why you chose to come in this lifetime. But I feel like on her end, it's a little trickier. So um she may be have a little more a few more issues that that she needs to work through in her evolution through this relationship. Not that he has his own stuff, but they're only showing me hers. But yeah, but nothing bad. Like, it's just you pick the people that can poke your buttons, so that we heal, and so that we're able to look at things. And so that's kind of it. And I think her buttons get pushed a little bit more than his. So, but anyways, yeah, good work. You guys will have fun.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
So twin flame, that would just be like meeting your soulmate?
No, a twin flame is actually a part of your being that they state that you were once actually a flame together. So you were actually a soul together.
Wow.
You were that close and that, and then when you, oh, good. I'm glad. Thank you, Bernice. Um, yeah, you know what? If you don't take everything so serious and so personal, it'll be okay. But that's why your buttons are being pushed because you do take things sometimes serious and personal. So I would say work on your reaction. Try not to be so reactive or to react. It's hard because it's supposed to be, but if you can stop and go, okay, what is this really making me feel? Or where does this really come from? Then it'll help you within the relationship. So I didn't see what else was popping on. They were showing me images. I appreciate. Oh, any messages from my husband or loved ones, please, Tina. All right, Tina. Um, I'm going to ask that my guides give me any messages if there is any, but I don't know if you can give me a name. I could probably ask and see if there's anybody out there, Tina, for you. Your husband's name, just a first name is fine. Um, so anyway, so a twin flame is very entangled. It's like a mirror of yourself,
Wow.
and that's intense because you're looking at raw Susan, and you are going to be poked nonstop. It's very painful. It can be very, very painful because you're looking at usually mostly it's your shadow side. And that's not always fun. Like I like a new soul that you don't have any garbage with, it's like brand new and there's no old stuff. But yeah, you and Sharon are really a nice old soul type of couple. I'd rather, like that's nice. That's comfortable. You guys have been around and done things together for very, very long. And she also came through in another lifetime in a masculine body. So you guys would probably
Yeah,
meet
I
it
I
up.
buy that because she beats me up.
Yeah,
She's
I
very
bet
masculine.
she has to keep you in line. Yeah. So yeah. So you guys have run amok before together. But I don't like to, I don't mind talking about other people's past lives, but I don't want to project anything onto anybody else's stuff either. I'd like them to come in. I don't mind showing you how to go to your past life and how to figure that out. But I hate to kind of say, oh, I see you as Cleopatra, like I don't think that's fair, for me to project that onto you because I may be wrong.
So you psychically throw out there to your guides,
Hmm.
like let's say you psychically threw out
For
Tina's
Tina.
husband's name, Steve,
Hmm.
and so now you'll just go on doing what we're doing, and if there is something for you, they'll let you know.
Right. We already kind of put out a boundary. They're probably not going to because I put out a boundary that um, we weren't going to go in that realm. Like I wasn't going to try and connect with
Conjure,
because
yeah.
it takes a lot, and it's in on this venue for me. It's hard for me to do, so they probably won't. But I will ask anyways. Right. So
Well, if you don't get anything, Tina, I highly recommend that you reach out to Susan after the show, or yeah, not doesn't have to be tonight, but definitely go to her website, send her a message, or if you're on Facebook here, um, you can send her a private message to her Facebook profile, and and go at that route.
right. I was kind of hoping, and I'm going to put out an another something out here and to whomever is here in the office to they're more than welcome to come forward. I have two little balls on the table, one over there, one over there. You're more than welcome to touch them if you want to leave a message with us or let us know that you're here. You're more than welcome to just touch the little balls and let them light up. All right. So
What else did I want to tell
Goodness.
you? I've been waiting to hear some. I voted for your team.
Oh, did you? Yay.
Yes, I might have even cheated and voted a couple of times. I figure everybody else is cheating and voting, so might as well jump in on that boat. But
Goodness.
I've been waiting for the team to
Oh, wow.
talk about where that stands with the voting.
I didn't hear, so maybe we didn't. I was abroad. I was actually out. I was in Spain when that came through. I didn't even expect that. So I had no internet, and so I was able to vote like by the hair of cutting across as we were going across the ocean. But um, I don't know what happened. And
So
I'd
just
say
for
no
people that
news.
don't know, if you want to go online, her team, the team that Susan is with, is Mass Hauntings, and the festival was called the QOSM 2022 Film Fest, and they were voted one of the best paranormal web series out there. And so I voted for it. If you want to go on YouTube and check out the what they've done there and Mass Hauntings, and then find that festival and then vote for them. That would be very, very cool.
I don't know if it's over, if we just had a weekend to do it. I didn't really look it up. But that's the haunted. Those are our peeps. They do the horror movies and um, that whole the paranormal shows, and they're the ones who judge that. So it was really cool. So it's a a group of our peers judging. So it was really impressive even just to get that far. Because
Absolutely.
there's a lot of shows out there and a lot of people, and just because they didn't get the recognition doesn't mean they're not good, because there's a lot of really good quality groups that just don't get the props because they just don't have the money, or they don't have the ability to get to wherever it needs for someone to recognize it. And even all the paracons, you'll see the same people over and over again, and I really wish that they would take the time to reach out to somebody else. Like, there's people out there that have information, that are just regular Joes that have that have had experiences.
Absolutely.
And because I'm getting tired of seeing the same old people. I want something
Yeah.
new. And people, if they're willing to share their talent and their experiences, that's what we're here for. That's the scientific stuff that I like. Let's see what you have. What do you got? What do I got? And put it together, and let's and instead of the ego getting in, I do this. I don't care. I don't like that. I don't want to get that big anyways.
You never
But
know.
you never know. Okay.
Hello, Anthony.
So you've been holding off writing your book about your travels in the Vale. Should I do it? Oh, yes. You definitely should. If it's pulling at you, or at least share it. At least create a group. If you don't want to write a book, writing a book is so hard for me. Um, ADD extraordinaire here. I would get through one chapter and be like, "Okay, am I done?" Like poop. So, but if you can write a book, and you have that, and it's asking you to do that, yeah, definitely. There you go. Look at you. That's you sitting there writing the book. You can't get any better than that. I love that. Go
Yeah, that's
for
very
it.
cool.
That is cool. Boom, boom.
Hey, Anthony, we'll be looking for your. You've got about 3 weeks to get it out, so let's get to it.
Yeah, and you
Yeah, my
can.
my writing was so weird. It's like it took me years, and I'd been working on my first book for years, and
Hmm.
finally, I just one day I was like, I think I'm done here. But the second one, it was like I did some serious channeling, and I busted it. It's just as long as the first one. I busted it out in like 3 months because I couldn't stop. And you had commented on that. You were channeling. I don't know what else to
Hmm.
say other than I didn't stop. It was around the clock,
Oh.
nonstop, just going, 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 going. Next thing I know, it was done. So
So I have to put it out there then, because I was saying, "Oh, I wish that I could have, I could channel that. That would be wonderful." And then they said, well, did you put it out there? So my guides were even just talking to me, going, we'll just put it out there. So I'm putting it out there that I'm ready and willing to write a book. I've got plenty of information. So it's just a matter of
Absolutely.
funneling it in the right and having it be legible.
You have
So,
your story is a very interesting story. You could talk about all your near death experiences, which I still personally find amazing.
right.
Um, and I know we argue about this all the time. I think you say it's 5. I say it's 7 times you actually died and were brought back. But 5
Right.
or 7, it doesn't really matter. To happen, have it happen.
I think
Either
after
one.
one, it doesn't matter. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
You could write about those. You could write
Hmm.
about your just so many people that are gifted that don't know what to do with their gift. You could write about life as a psychic and how to hone your talents and move forward with that, and the ups and downs and the goods and the bads and all your experiences ghost hunting and paranormal investigating and
Hmm.
all your
Oh,
just a
just
ton of stuff.
right. I mean, just that one time that we were at the museum and then we had the demonic attack. That could be a book in itself, just one book. Boop.
There you go.
Um, yeah. So it just, I don't know. I'll wait for the answer, I guess. Will
Well, I
Susan
talked
write a
about
book?
I talked
Uh,
we talked briefly about my guest on Friday, and she was in Connecticut,
yeah.
and she's an authority on Irish folklore.
Ooh.
And I thought about you after the show was over with because she talked about a lot about elementals and fairies, and
Hmm.
then we talked about house spirits and her description of what she believes what she meant by house spirit. I hadn't really heard anybody describe a house spirit like that type of house spirit before. And then afterwards, I was thinking, it really reminded me of, did you ever see a movie? I believe it was early 80s called The Entity.
Hmm.
You remember that movie?
Hmm.
Did you see it?
Hmm. Oh, I love those. Yeah.
Um,
I've watched every scary movie ever.
and it's like I can't find out if they ever eventually brought clergy in on that, paranormal clergy in on that. But I know, she had the personal psychiatrist, she had the
Hmm.
the parapsychologist team from the college helping her. But that haunt was so, you know, at times it was like it's just a haunt. At times it was like it was demonic. At times it was very poltergeistish. And then I know she eventually moved to Texas, and for many many years after the book was written and after the movie came out, she continued to have attacks. Um, but I don't remember anybody ever determining exactly what it was. And like I said, I could never find out if they brought in clergy on that. But I'm wondering if that was a type of a house spirit. But she also talked a lot about we talked about changelings and that whole changeling legend from the fairy
Hmm.
belief. And I recently saw a really scary movie called The Hole in the Ground. Have you seen that?
No,
An
I haven't
Irish
watched
movie.
anything. Yeah, no.
You gotta watch it. I'm not even gonna tell you about it. You gotta
No,
watch
no,
The Hole
don't
in the
ruin it.
Ground.
Okay.
And then when I told her I had seen that movie and was, is that what she was talking about? She goes, exactly. But an even better movie about the whole changeling thing is a movie called You Are Not My Mother, also an Irish movie. And she said, watch that. I
Oh,
haven't watched it
what's
yet, but
that?
I found the trailer and saw the trailer, and the trailer was scary enough. So I'm debating
Ah,
if I even want.
okay. So those are good. I'm going to watch those. So I don't know if you can hear. It keeps clinking, and I'm getting someone at the door again. Um, but I don't know if you can hear it in the background. So we're just going to ask them to come on in and just hit the button and make these little things go
Yeah,
up.
maybe
I want those.
sometimes they wait for permission.
Please come in and hit the little cat balls. So, anyways.
So next month, if I show up for the show and I'm like this, missing a limb, you'll know. Wish me luck. I don't. I'm really stressing about that.
Okay.
I don't
So
want to.
don't. So this is what you do. So if there's a situation that you need help with, you ask your guides, right? So you ask your guides to come forward and to help them if you are supposed to. Right? This is the whole thing because we think we are in charge. We're not in charge. I mean, sometimes we're in charge,
Absolutely.
but this kind of stuff, we're not in charge. And so ask your guides to help you catch the cat if it is for your highest good and for the cat's highest good. If not, and they say nope, then let it go. Then it's not your thing. Just walk away. And so we have to do that more because as the world is shifting and changing in our dimensions, we have to ask, is this good for me? You
So
know,
when you say that to me,
mhm.
hopefully I get discernment on that before I even go out there and try and catch it, or if during catching it, it's such a pain in the ass that I just let it go.
Well, both. You can sleep on it tonight and just ask that if I'm to help this cat in any way, please show me and guide me. And if you're supposed to, the cat will walk into the crate, close the door itself, and off you go. Because that's what happens. Like that's just how it
Okay, all
happens.
right. I don't
Because
see
if
that happening, but
I want to see
uh,
this, actually, yeah, YouTube this, please.
oh, she wants you to ask me about my Christmas gift.
Oh,
First of all, here,
please.
I am glad she brought that up. I don't really
Okay.
want to talk about me, but I'm glad she brought that up because once again, and I should, after 20 years of being married to this woman, I should know how she rolls. We always say no gifts because we give each other stuff all year
All year
round,
round.
all the
Right.
time. We
Right.
don't have kids here anymore, and we celebrate Christmas in different ways, just loving each other, being together. My Christmas tree's up year round with the lights on every night. Um, it, it's Christmas for me. In what I do, every day has to be Christmas. So we said no gifts. And the next thing I know, I'm sitting there having breakfast Christmas morning. She comes in with this big box, gift wrapped. I'm like, ugh. But it was actually a wonderful gift that I needed to buy anyhow. It's uh, a, a piece of religious garment called an alb, ALB,
Mhm.
with a cincture. Um, and it's something I need when I get ordained in the diaconate. And so I would have to have purchased it eventually anyway
Oh,
to
that's
ready.
nice.
And there's just one more piece that has to go
Mhm.
with it that she's shopping around for. But that was very inexpensive. It was
Oh.
uh, unexpected and just a
Mhm.
wonderful gift, and it made my day because she knew. Also, I had been stressing out for days over the cat situation, and
Are you
I'm
gonna
like
change
that with
his
the
name?
animals. So,
I think you should change his name to Popeye now.
oh my gosh,
Hey,
Too
I
hey,
soon? Too
Shawn,
yeah,
soon?
I have a real quick question for you.
sure.
The wife says, "No, no, don't get me anything for Christmas."
Hmm.
You you believe that?
Well, here's the thing.
Because
I get
I know I would get my butt kicked, and you know my wife, and that would never, ever, ever fly. Oh, honey, we agreed we weren't going to get each other anything, and boy, I know I'd be in the doghouse for years.
okay. I'm going to air some of my own dirty laundry here tonight. It's not really dirty laundry. I have a great life. I'm a blessed individual. Um, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Sharon anyway. But like I said, we give each other stuff all the time year round. And let me tell you something else. I am terrible with money, terrible with credit cards. She's an office manager and an accountant. She handles all of that stuff. I never We have one car which we share and she's works sun up to sundown 6 days a week. And the one day we have off together, I I just am not that guy that jumps in the car and says, "See you later, honey," and runs off. But I did say to her, "Listen, I want you to find a couple of really nice things that you want online and let me know what they are, and we'll make it happen, and we'll get you some Christmas stuff." Um, and that didn't happen. And I've also learned, being married for 20 years, that I've bought a lot of things that I thought she's never given me that look like, "Oh, that's nice, honey. Thank you." She's never done that. But I don't get great gifts. If you leave it up to me, I don't get great gifts. So I need help in that department. So I asked her. She never got back to me. So
She'll hit you up. She'll hit you up.
yeah. Or she'll just walk in one time either wearing really nice new earrings or a new outfit or something and go, "Oh, this is oh honey, you look nice today. Where'd you get those? Where'd you get that? Oh, that was your Christmas gift. Oh, gotcha." Um
Shawn, I have
oh,
to
ball
interrupt
was
you.
lighting up. Which ball is lighting up?
Oh, was it? Oh, we weren't even paying attention.
Uh
Oh,
I can't see it. It's not the one in front of you. I can't see the one
no,
by
they're
the
not lighting up right now. The ball was lighting up. It was
huh.
lighting up.
Well,
Oh,
you invited it in.
well, because it keeps making noises. So yeah, do it again. If you can do it once, you can do it again, please.
He's right now thinking about floating out, going, "These guys aren't even paying attention to me. They asked me in, I hit the freaking ball, and now these stupid dudes talking about,
Right?
not buying his
A
wife
bologna
anything."
sandwich, right? What the heck? So
Uh,
your guys were talking about a something over your left shoulder that is a gift that was given to you, almost that had something upon it, or um, uh, it's got energy in it. I don't know. Does that make sense? What's over your somewhere over there? Um, and
in
it could
my
be out.
house,
Yes, in your house.
over my left shoulder,
Yeah. What's over there?
huh?
Do you have anything that's was a some and it what they're saying is it needs to be blessed, or it needs to be, it may be getting
Oh,
triggered by something
hmm,
that's either happening universal, or something that's happening within your home.
hmm.
So just think of that, and it could be like behind you in another room, behind you in a closet, behind not necessarily on your desk, but they're just talking about it needs to be scooped up again.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
I will
Okay.
I will look into that afterwards.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Nothing bad, but just like it's almost like psychic
If
house
you
cleaning.
get something, if your discernment tells you something a little bit more about the object, let me know because I have a lot of haunted objects in the house.
Mm,
I have a lot of religious relics in the house too, and a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of religious relics can carry a lot of attachments too, good and bad. So
mhm.
you got to be careful with those too. So I have both in the house, a lot of religious relics and haunted objects.
Yeah, it
Um,
doesn't seem to be horribly demonic. It just is something that needs to be controlled, or maybe reeled in a little bit. So
Okie dokie. I'm thinking
maybe
over
it's
my
an
left shoulder right
anniversary.
now. Well, I've got the haunted carnival barker hat that's got all my jokes in it. That usually at the end of I won't do it tonight or but usually at the end of the show I pull a joke that one of the people that watch the show send in to me,
Hmm.
and that hat was worn by um, a little person, an elderly gentleman that was the head of a traveling carnival, and he asked me to come and investigate his carnival once.
Oh wow,
And
cool.
I did such a good job and confronted a lot of really eerie things at this carnival, helped his daughter out. He passed away, and the daughter gave me, I didn't expect it, she gave me his carnival barker hat. It's a black
Wow.
top hat. And
Yeah.
but I also have that Ouija board over there, which was was
Maybe
at one
that's
time
it.
a very weird,
Hmm.
weird, weird thing. I've got the bell over. Oh, that bell. Maybe I better do the bell again. I have that bell. It's a huge bell. It's like a bell you would see in the steeple of a church, a big
Oh wow.
antique bell that came from probably one of the most haunted locations Sharon and I investigated here in Vegas. It was
Mhm.
a mansion in a gated community, probably the oldest gated community in the Vegas Valley. And it used to be, the site used to be the old Springs Preserve where the Indian reservation was here, the original, way, 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 way back in the day.
Mhm.
So they built this gated community there, and this mansion haunted off the charts. And we were asked to come in by the real estate agent that was trying to sell it because every time he brought people in there to look at the house, the activity would scare them off. So
Mhm.
Sharon and I were probably over about 3 months. We're probably there a dozen times easy. Sharon ended up making friends with a couple of spirits. They
Oh,
would come
nice.
to her and give her messages in dreams.
Oh, I like
She would go
that.
back and say, "We need to go back to that house because there's a secret panel in the library." And the guy would go, "I've got the blueprints. There's no secret panel there." "Well, there is, and I need to get something out of that drawer and give it to you because it means something. We'd go back and he'd go, look, there's no secret panel. Boom, Sharon would find it, some secret panel in there, and there'd be some documentation about the previous owner that
Yeah.
he needed to see. So that
That's
kind
really
of thing.
cool.
But
Hmm.
why was I even talking about that? I totally lost my train of thought.
Oh, the
Well,
bell. The bell.
oh, the bell.
What about
So the bell, I
well?
don't even know how the bell was in the guy's garage. And the dude liked the bell. Real
Okay.
estate agent took the bell home and he hung it, mounted it professionally over his deck in his backyard where the pool is.
Hmm.
And he was out there cleaning the pool one day and something that he couldn't see picked him up and threw him in the pool and then
Ooh.
tried to drown him. He's in good
Oh,
shape,
wow.
younger than me, a good
Mhm.
swimmer, and he's in the shallow end. And he said, I was fighting for my life to keep him drowning in the shallow end. And he finally got out of his pool and he couldn't, nothing like that had ever happened to him before in his home. And he's like,
Yeah.
what have I done different here? What's different that it may have caused this thing? And then jumped right out at him, the bell. And he asked me if I would take the bell. I said, sure. So I brought the bell in here. It's behind that painting of the Last Supper behind me on a table. But I've bound it and blessed it and prayed over it. And I've thought many times about putting it out, mounting it in my front yard, and every once in a while scare the HE double hockey sticks out of the neighbors by ringing it. Um, but that would probably be the last straw. They would probably try to get me out of the neighborhood if I did that. But the bell, it's probably the bell.
All right.
Um,
Probably.
yeah, it's a big bell. It takes two people to carry it. It's
Wow.
you see them in the front of it. You would either see a bell like it, like I said, in an old church steeple, or in the front of an old locomotive that used to have the bells in front of them. One of those.
Mhm. Oh,
Um,
that's cool. Wow. Oh, look what time it is, man.
oh yeah. Well, at least we got some good readings in. I got to catch up with you a little bit. I got to find out if you want to continue
Mhm.
doing this next year. So that's great
Mhm.
news for everybody that you will be back. You're actually on the show twice next month. You'll be back on the 9th. You're bringing a very special friend, Mr. Frank Durant, is
Mhm.
coming with you. And you guys are going to give everybody an update on the Lady of the Dunes.
Yeah, he's a
Bring
director producer, fantastic guy.
Boom. I'm looking forward to that. And you'll be back again, like I said, the last Monday of January, the 30th, for the first Happy Media Monday of 2023.
Woohoo!
I love you.
Love you too. Love
Um,
everybody that was listening and put information in and stuff like that. So thank you very much. Without you guys, the show is.
you take it easy. Have a great evening,
Thank you,
and
love.
I will talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Good night. All right, guys. No show this coming Friday, the 30th. I'm taking the New Year's weekend off. Zach may play a best of, not sure yet. But I will be back with the first new live show of 2023, Monday, January 2nd. Get your passports ready. We're going to Australia to visit with Julia and Jason King. And they are with the Jason Ghost Hunter show. You're going to love them. What else? Like I said, February 22nd, Community Mission to Rescue 22. 22 hours straight podcast on Pact, little P8, capital ACT. I'll be the first guest at 1 a.m. in the morning. Attend that one. That's for a good cause to help prevent suicide among the vets. Thank you to Zach and Adrian Clayton, my co-producers. Go to communitypayitforward.us, communitypayitforward.us. Find something to donate to there. That whole site is about people that really need a lot of help, and it's all good causes. USOCC.org is my church. If you're interested to know about my church, go to the website. Go to bishopjameslong.com. If you're interested in Bible study, Wednesdays and Sunday afternoons at 5 p.m. Pacific, or if you're interested in night prayer, which is Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific, the links to both of those are on his website. Thank you to Things Network. Thank you to Temple of Phoenix Rising Entertainment. Thank you to Skeleton Key Network for all of these networks simulcasting my show. Thank you to PACT, little p, capital ACTA, capital ACT, for also simulcasting my show. That's Zach's show and his site. I love you all. I hope you all had a Merry Christmas. I hope you all have a wonderful, happy new year, and may all your dreams and wishes come true for 2023. Say a prayer for me that all goes well in the morning when I try to wrangle my injured cat. And I will see you guys uh, in 2023. Thank you all so much for being here because I don't have a show without all you guys. So I love you all. God bless you all. Good night, Jack. Good night, Dog. Good night, Danny. Good night, Harold. Rest in peace. Good night, Ernie. Good night, Bill. Good night, Dan. I love you all. Peace.